Welcome to For the Birds with Richard Cole. Unfortunately, Richard couldn't be in the studio with us today, but we will hear some words of wisdom from Richard today. And we'd also like to invite you to go ahead and be interactive. Tell us where you're watching. Tell us where you are and let us know what you think about Cole's products. We'd love to see that in the comments. Also, you can ask a question of Richard and he can answer it in the comments at some other time or possibly next time we're here on Facebook Live. But we do have a great show for you today. We're going to show you Cole's was recently featured on a national television show, so that's really exciting. And we're going to tell you a little bit about our Cole's calendar, and then Richard's going to have some advice about what you do when you find a baby bird. You might find one this time of year or throughout the summer. He's got some excellent advice. And we're going to take on the age-old question of whether or not you can actually feed rice to birds. Of course, June is the big season for all the weddings, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. First of all, we want to talk about our Cole's Calendar Contest, the 2024 Calendar Contest. This is so exciting. Your pictures last year were absolutely amazing. And in fact, if you've taken a picture and you've entered it in the contest before and maybe you made it in the calendar, I'd love to see your pictures in the comments that you can post those now. But we do want to remind you that deadline is coming up soon. That's June 2nd. That's on a Friday. So get out there for the next few weekends. Take those beautiful pictures. The pictures that you took maybe in fall or winter, you can upload those. Be sure to read everything about the photos and submit those, and good luck to you. I look forward to seeing the Cole's calendar. I always love to see that. It's amazing pictures. And next we want to tell you about some of the first, second, and third place prizes for the Cole's calendar. So first place prize package, look at this. It's valued at over $350 and so many amazing products and feeders that you can try out. That Titan tray, that is a beautiful feeder. And then you can get, the Cole's Hummer High Rise and the Hummer Food, and then all of these different seeds. This gives you a good way to sample some of the Cole's products. Of course, the Flaming Squirrel Seed Sauce, who could be without that? That'll keep the squirrels away, and you can mix it in with your bird seed. And then Tubezilla, which I've got a Tubezilla with me today, and I'm going to show you that. It is just a really heavy-duty quality tube that you'll want to have, especially if you have a lot of birds and you don't want to just change or be adding food every day. So get those pictures in. Let us know your comments. Let us know where it is that you are watching from. If you plan to enter the Cole's Calendar Contest, we'd love to see some pictures, and we love to see pictures in the comments. So thanks for staying tuned. Please share the broadcast out so that more people will actually know about our photo contest. And in fact, if you know somebody who is always taking pictures of birds, you might want to share this out or tag them, send an invite to them to see this video. So we want to remind you about that. Be sure to get those pictures in. And now we want to show you, Cole's was so honored to be a featured product on Good Morning America, and it was on Earth Day. So we were featured as a really earth-friendly product that people would be interested in. And what a great thing to be nationally televised and to be on Good Morning America. It was so successful. And we definitely want to thank all of you who made it a success, who tuned in. And, we have done this in the past, but we always feel like it's just amazing to be featured with so many other great products for Earth Day. And we definitely think of ourselves as an earth-friendly product that's just good for everyone, good for the birds, and then our packaging, of course, is environmentally friendly as well. So from Earth Day to Mother's Day, Mother's Day is coming up soon. It's Sunday, May 14th, and have you already bought your mother a gift? If not, or maybe you want to get her something extra, we have some great ideas for you. So first of all, our Cole's Hummer High Rise. If your mother loves hummingbirds, this is a great thing to be able to give her. Now, this is one of the first editions of the Cole's Hummer High Rise, so the colors changed a little bit. It's a little bit more vibrant. Plus, this is from my backyard, and it's probably been a little bit sun bleached, but you can see how much the real value of this is just being able to see the hummingbirds close up. Plus, it is so easy to maintain. I've had other hummingbird feeders, and sometimes it's hard to see the hummingbirds when they come to feed. And the other thing is that little ant moat you see in the middle where you put the water that keeps, bees and ants and everything out of your feeder and from getting into the liquid and that kind of thing. That's so easy to use with this. I just mix up some sugar water, and now that's a more recent picture, so you can see the red is more vibrant and beautiful, but it's so great because you can actually see the hummingbirds, and so I love it, and I highly recommend this. And also wanted to just bring in some of our viewers today. Hello from North Carolina. Hi, Marilyn Diaz. Can't wait to enter again. She's had so many beautiful pictures in this. And Marilyn, if you get a minute, I would love for you to upload one of your past pictures into the comments, if you can. And then Dawn Brady says, so totally awesome. Discovered you on GMA. Oh, that's wonderful. That is great to hear. My cardinals love the hot meats and love hummingbirds too. Oh, that is so great to hear. And I wanted to show you this in the package. So Mom gets a beautiful package and with the Cole's Hummer High Rise and that pretty red that you can tell that's not like ours. It's a little sun bleached. The red is even more vibrant and beautiful now. But nice packaging, easy to wrap if you wanted to do that. And then it's so great because you can also get, okay, so the green doesn't show up so well with our green screen, but you can see beautiful packaging. This is so pretty. This is Cole's Nature's Garden. It's a new hummingbird liquid that Cole's is making now, hummingbird nectar. It actually has 3 different forms of natural sugars for the hummingbirds, and it's so good. And we never recommend feeding them the red dye. They will come and eat clear, and there's just no point in adding a food coloring that may or may not be so great for the birds. So we just really highly recommend this food. And what a great gift. That's perfect, and any mom would love it, right? So we have a few other gifts. I'm going to show you the Bountiful Bowl. And it is just a beautiful thing for attracting bluebirds, and you can fill that if you want to get more bluebirds, which I love having bluebirds at our house, and I think most people love to attract bluebirds. And I'd love your comments on how you guys attract bluebirds or hummingbirds to your house. And so yes, Dawn Brady, you've got the nectar. She's writing into us. I just love when it's interactive and you guys are talking to us and letting us know what you think. That is so great to hear that you've tried the nectar, it works, and that you like it. But this is Cole's dried mealworms. They're really popular with the bluebirds. You will get those in your feeders. Now we want to show you, I think it's Bountiful Bowl that we have a picture of that you can see how, yeah, this is a beautiful, I love the dome on this, that it covers up, everything from the rain so that your seed isn't getting dirty or messed up and that kind of thing. So it's just a beautiful feeder. Everything being clear allows you to really enjoy and see the birds close up. It seems like Richard's house has one of these like right next to his deck outside. And you guys, I love it when you comment. Let us know what you think about the products. Let us know how you get pictures. Marilyn, if you have any advice about how to take pictures, we'd love to see that as well as your pictures. And so these are suet kibbles. And the suet kibbles and the mealworms can be combined into a feeder. But these, if you don't like mealworms or maybe just the feel or the texture of them, suet kibbles, another great thing to be able to give mom to attract bluebirds. So that's another great gift idea. I'm going to show you Tubezilla. This is an amazing tube feeder. And when you really see it like this, you can get an idea for the scale of this. It is a really big, steady feeder, and you can just fill this. You can get some heavier birds on this if you want to. And the best thing about this, and like I was talking about the hummingbird, this is so easy to maintain. I put it in my dishwasher. I love it. But with this one, you just literally push these in. My hands are small, so it's hard to do. But you just push this in, and the bottom pops right out, so you can just clean it so easy. But this, I think, is a great gift for mom or even for dad, because next month we've got Father's Day coming up, right? And so you need to be able to get some gifts for dad as well. So Tubezilla makes an excellent gift. If you want something a little smaller, or maybe somebody's just getting started in bird feeding, you know, this terrific tube feeder is perfect. Again, so easy. You just pop this, literally pop it off. So easy, so easy. And so you can pop it off, you can just clean it, you know, so easily. These are steady, really quality made products. And you know, if you're giving somebody a feeder, it's great to go ahead and give them the seed that goes in it. And have any of you guys, Dawn, Marilyn, anybody else watching now, have you ever tried hot meats? These are amazing. So you'll love these. It's the sunflowers, the sunflower meats, which birds cannot get enough of. Everybody loves sunflower meats. It seems like that all the different birds that visit your feeders are gonna love this. And it's infused with hot meat. So this is what we've tried. We have some feeders up on our deck, and we don't have a way for the squirrels not to get up there, because the squirrels can get everywhere. We don't have the squirrel baffle on the ones on our deck. But just buying the hot meats, that's all we needed to do to keep them away. It's been wonderful. And I'd love to hear your experiences as well, if you've been able to, you know, keep the squirrels away with this type of product. So hot meats, perfect to be able to put into one of these feeders if you give that to mom. Now we also, Kohl's has some great blends. And this is the Blazing Hot Blend. So you're getting all of these different foods, and it seems to just attract birds so well when they see a lot of different colors in it. And as many of you know, Richard really researched how to get birds to his feeders. And one of the things that Richard began doing many years ago, Richard and his wife Nancy, who started the company, they did this blend. They would put a lot of different foods that they knew that birds really loved into a package together and package them all together, and it's been incredibly successful. And when it's hot, then, you know, it's perfect for the birds, so you don't have to worry about squirrels. Again, another blend is going to be your special feeder. This is a great blended product as well. This one, if you have it in your feeders, of course, you'll want to have a squirrel baffle or some way to be able to keep the squirrels away from your feeders. Okay, Marilyn Diaz says to us, the hot meats are loved by the birds. I just purchased 2 bags. The squirrels are not a fan of the hot meats. It's true. If an animal is hungry enough, they'll try anything, but they're not fans. And if they are in a place where they have plenty of food, they will leave it alone. They used to just come up on our deck all the time. And once they would just, I kind of did love watching them, because they would fight for the bird seed and that kind of thing, but they were also just, they're so destructive. So it was wonderful when we switched over to the hot meats. So we have a few other gift ideas for Dad for Father's Day, and that's coming up, of course, in June. And one of the gifts that, you know, Richard thinks is wonderful for a lot of dads is binoculars. And so he did a video that we'll show you now about some great things to do and shop for when you're looking for binoculars for a gift for anyone for Father's Day or Mother's Day.
Might have 4 or 5 pair, one by each window, and a pair in the car, of course, just in case you see something while you're driving along. But what do all those numbers mean on binoculars? You see things like, well, let me go on the types first. There's a thing called poral prisms, and I'll show you one in just a minute. And roof prisms, there's another nice term. That's the two main construction types of the way the lenses are aligned of binoculars. You get into other things such as zoom and waterproof, and sometimes you hear things like focus free. You don't have to focus them. And paddle focuses as opposed to wheel focuses. Real quick, here is basically a standard pair of binoculars, and it is called a poral prism. You can see the distinctive shape where it comes down, goes out, and down. So from where the two eyes look, they get wider.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. I'll show you another pair, though. These are called roof prisms. As you can see, they don't zigzag. They pretty much go straight through, or apparently go straight through. And it's a different type of construction. A lot of people tend to think that you can make better binoculars with these because there's a more direct path to getting view in there. They have their advantages, they have their disadvantages. But that's the two main construction types. And then there's people say, well, what about the little ones? Here's a pair, and we're going to show these in detail more. This is a pair of compact binoculars, not near as big. And is it a poral prism or is it a roof prism? Well, it's a reverse poral prism. Instead of from the eye thing, the binocular going out and getting wider, it comes in and gets slimmer. One way to make the binoculars like this very slim without going through the extra cost of making a roof prism that's a straight barrel. They are more expensive. So a lot of different things you can add to that. When you're out shopping, you can hear or see things like focus free. That's a big term. You go in the store, oh, you don't have to focus them. They're focus free. That's really not a very good thing. It's fixed on the focal point. That's kind of like if you had glasses that were fixed and you couldn't change the focus, as with progressives or something, you would be able to focus at mid-range, but you wouldn't see very well far out, and you wouldn't see very well close in. The same way with the focus-free binoculars. There's a wide range of what you can see, but much more you can't see well. So they're not good for delicate work like watching birds, something in small detail. Then you have the way you focus them with a turning wheel, like this is what most people are used to. You just give it a spin. And some of them have just a flip focus, a little paddle wheel that you just flip back and forth. There again, you won't find that on very expensive binoculars. It's generally on the less expensive binoculars, and people say, oh, this is easy. I don't have to do it. It's not as fine as the wheel turning, so you can see, but not quite as well. So it's some of the things I would avoid as for somebody watching birds. And why would there be a difference in regular binoculars and what you would use to watch birds with? If you're out just looking at the landscape, it's big, you don't know what a tree's supposed to look like. And if you see the pine cone or not, doesn't matter. If you look at the mountains, doesn't matter, it's a mountain. If you're looking at a bird or something with fine detail that may be very close or pretty far away, you need other capabilities in your binocular. You need to be able to see the fine details in that bird, or you won't know what the bird is. I like to tell people, you're looking at a bird out in a tree, it appears that big to your naked eye, maybe. But if you're looking at it with binoculars, it can look that big to you.
Yeah.
That's a huge difference. It'll look 10 times bigger to your naked eye.
Yeah.
When you think about looking, if you see a cardinal, you know what it is. But if you see a bird that's not a cardinal that may have sort of the shape, maybe some of the color, you won't have a clue what that bird is. You say, maybe it's a cardinal, maybe it, but don't look quite right. Pick up the binoculars. Instead of getting an image this big of that bird, you're going to see an image this big of the bird. You'll know what it is.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to identify, especially the little warblers and things that have delicate markings and are a little harder to identify.
Yeah.
So that's the reason you want to use binoculars, and that's why I keep one at every window. So I don't miss something. Yeah.
Richard always has some great advice and insights, and I love how excited he gets when he talks about anything having to do with birds. Next, Marilyn Diaz joined us today, and I've seen her name so many times and said it so many times about her photographs. We wanted to show you one of her photographs. So if you're watching, I just thought that you should see this, and I wanted everybody to see how beautiful that is. So thanks so much for entering, and I look forward to seeing your entries in this year's contest. So thank you so much. And now we want to go to another suggested gift idea that Richard did. He talked about how field guides and books they're a great gift for anybody who's an avid bird watcher.
Photographs of birds, although it sounds counterintuitive, I want to see a photograph of the bird, but it's easier to show the things you should be looking for with a drawing as opposed to a picture, because you can set the bird up exactly the way you want to. But there was a person who started field guides. In fact, the modern field guide was Roger Torrey Peterson, and his books are still available. And it's called Peterson's Field Guides. Got one for the eastern United States, western United States, etc. There's several other. Audubon has one out. There's probably 10 others out there that are fine, and some of them have pictures, and some of them have the drawings. And National Geographic, I believe, has one. But if you have one that's got the drawings in it, I would suggest starting with the Peterson. And there's one or two others out there that aren't too terribly complicated. Get it for your section of the country, because that eliminates a lot of birds you don't have to worry about that because they're not in your territory. And just start with it and go at it casually and just try to pick up one or two birds a week. And you'll find that's a lot of fun. And after a while, you'll be very knowledgeable about the birds coming to your feeders.
So we've told you about the photo contest, and we've told you about great gifts for Mother's Day and for Father's Day coming up next month. And now we just want to talk to you a little bit about some of the things that, happen every spring and summer. And one of them is, June is a great month for getting married. It's the most popular month for getting married. So is there any truth to whether you can feed rice to birds? Like, should you throw rice at weddings? And that's always a big question. So Richard has some advice about that.
And speaking of this time of year.
Oh, yeah. What do we have? We have lots of weddings.
It's getting time for weddings. The two big times of year are spring and fall for weddings. And we get a lot of calls every year about throwing rice at weddings. And it's several reasons it's done. There's a lot of pomp and ceremony with that, but people love to throw the rice, and they're worried about the birds. The ones that are thinking about it, it's like the birds are going to eat the old tale goes, the birds will eat the rice. It will, obviously, it swells up.
Yeah.
It swells up in their stomachs, and the birds explode. Or it kills them. Just how we're going to look at it. And that's not too much of a concern, really. It sounds like, oh my goodness, that could happen, but it really is not going to happen. First of all, throw some rice out and watch how many birds eat it.
Right.
It's not going to happen. They just don't care for it. If it was a really great food, it would be in our bird feeds.
Well, then it doesn't hurt to go ahead and throw birdseed.
Right? No, we're going to.
But rice, you don't need
rice,
to worry about.
And some people say, well, the rice can sting. It's big. It's got little sharp edges on it. So, but if you throw the rice, don't die of guilt. It's probably going to be okay because the birds, if they did eat it, it's not going to swell up and blow up the birds. It will not work that way unless their stomach has boiling water in it, which will make it swell quickly.
Right.
Any increase in size by sitting in fluids, it's going to take a very long time. It won't be in the digestive system that long. So don't worry about it. But throw millet. Go get some birdseed. Go get some pure millet or just light birdseed. Put it in a little bag just like you would the rice and throw that, and it's fine.
Yeah. So we want to dispel that myth, right?
Yes. Yeah. One more time. And then if you throw in the birdseed, the birds may get something they'd really like to eat anyhow.
Yeah. So you could attract some beautiful birds to your wedding.
Yes.
So now you know, if you're going to a wedding and they throw rice, you don't have to worry about it. If you had rice thrown at your wedding, you don't need to feel guilty about it. Just dispelling that rumor. So we want to just go through really quickly one more time everything that's going on with Kohl's. Just to let you know, our Kohl's 2024 calendar contest, the closing date on that is Friday, June 2nd. We want you to get your photos in. Please read all the rules and then get your photos in. And we have some great prizes for the first, second, and third place. You can get a great variety of Kohl's products and the feeders and those sort of things, so you can enjoy amazing products. And probably the most exciting thing about it, though, is the chance to actually see your photograph in with all the other beautiful photographs in the Kohl's calendar. Of course, it's a really high quality, beautiful calendar. And so many great pictures that we get. We love to see these year after year. Make sure that, hopefully your pictures are seasonal. If they have a bird that's eating Kohl's products, even better. But it doesn't take, it doesn't take a picture of a really amazing bird to do this, but just a really great picture of even the most simple bird. The one on our cover last year was just a really beautiful, I think it was a song sparrow, so it was so pretty. And now the photographer for that, I follow him and see the nature photographs like every day in my Facebook feed. But we want to really quickly remind you too that Sunday, May 14th is Mother's Day, and we have all of these products out here, things for hummingbirds, the Kohl's Hummer High Rise, the new nectar. Oh my goodness, that Dawn Brady says she's gonna have to try the nectar soon, and she found out about us through watching Good Morning America, so that was great. We were on there for Earth Day. We were featured on the national television show, so that was quite an honor. And then we have these great Tubezilla, easy to clean, high quality, amazing bird feeder. Anybody would love to get this as a gift. And then we have all kinds of products, great Kohl's products that you can put in if you want to try something like Kohl's Hot Meats, which is infused with chili peppers so that the squirrels do not like it. They will maybe taste it, but they won't like it. Birds can't taste it, but the squirrels can, and they would prefer to eat something else. So it's safe to put in your feeders that you can have up on your porch and that sort of thing. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have so much fun with Facebook Live. Just want to make sure, do we have any new comments? And I really appreciate, the viewers that watch and interact with us. It's so much fun. And Richard Kohl loves to be here and be in on the interaction as well. And he is here the first Wednesday of the month at 3 o'clock Eastern Time, and he can answer any birding question. He's such a birding expert. I love it. And thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next time.
Hello, this is Richard Kohl. I want to thank each of you for watching, and I want you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share it.